Hello. Can you introduce yourself? Do you like to go to concerts?
Hello, my name is Laura Waterhouse. I'm going to tell you about my first concert experience.
How did you get interested in going to a concert?
One day at school, my friend came to me and showed me a picture of a music group. It had three brothers in the picture. One's older, and his name is Isaac. The second one, the middle one, his name is Taylor. And the third one is younger, the younger one, his name is Zach. I said, so what? What's important about them? Whatever. But then I started seeing them more and more often. I saw them on TV and books, for magazines, videos. And I started to say, okay, that's cool.
How did you learn about the concert?
One day on a Sunday, I was looking at the newspaper and it said Hanson is coming to my hometown, my home area. And I was so excited. I told Mom, you've got to get the tickets. So she called to try to get a ticket, but it was always busy. She couldn't get through. They weren't ready to sell the tickets yet anyway. I said, hurry, Mom, we have to go. I told my mom, I really want to go bad. Mom said, okay, don't worry. I'll call again.
Was your mom successful?
She called and called, but she couldn't get through. Finally, I remembered that my mom has a friend who works there. I said, oh, Mom, please call your friend so she can get us tickets. And Mom said, okay, fine. And she called her friend and she got us tickets. But she wouldn't tell me what row the seat is on. I had to wait until that day, the day that we go. So I waited until that day, the day of the concert.
So, what happened? Where were your seats?
I went on that day about 4 hours ahead of time before it started. There was a long line, and we were waiting in the line to go in. And as I was waiting, I looked at the ticket, and it said row D, seat number 9. I said, oh my gosh, that means 4th row. Wow, yay! I was so excited to go in. The line was long, and I was waiting to go in.
What did you do while you were waiting for the concert to start?
I remember I had $265 of posters on the wall. And my favorite is about Zach, and I had been waiting a long time to see him. I was so excited that I finally get to see him. And we saw a limo come, and I thought it was Hanson. But it was a girl. She rented a limo. I think she was just trying to make us all excited. Finally, we went in, and we saw 60,000 seats. Wow, I couldn't believe there were so many seats. I was so lucky that I was in the 4th row. I was so excited. We had 2 hours left until they would come up on the stage.
What was the crowd like?
When I looked behind me, I saw there were a whole lot of signs. It said, I love you, or marry me, or today's my birthday. I had a sign that said, I love you, Hanson.
How was the concert?
Finally, they showed up on the stage. This is the first time I get to see him in real life. I just couldn't believe it. There were many times that they came close to the edge of the stage, and I pushed my brother until he fell so I can get closer to Zach. And one time, I got really close, like 1 foot, and I reached my hand up to grab him, to touch him. And the middle one, Taylor, reached down and he shook my hand. And I thought, what? I couldn't believe it. He touched my hand. So I ran back to tell Mom, he touched my hand. I was so excited. Mom said, really, really? I said, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Wow.
I'll bet that was exciting. What else happened?
Zach, my favorite one, I was watching to see what he would do. And I saw that he got a water gun and was squirting the girls. So I ran close to get wet. And I made it. He shot me in my neck. I got wet.
Did anything else happen at the concert?
When I was watching the stage, I saw some kids signing in front of me. Some girls. I saw some deaf girls talking about Hanson. And that surprised me that there were other deaf girls near me, right in front of me.
It sounds like you were able to get up close and personal with Hanson.
One time I did get too close to Hanson, and the bodyguard took me away, back to my seat. I was really disappointed because I wanted to be close to them, but the bodyguard said no, because it's really not fair to the other girls.
Sometimes people throw things on stage at concerts. Did you experience any of that?
Many people threw a lot of things on stage. For example, water balloons or flowers or t-shirts.
Did anything else happen at the concert?
When I thought Hanson was finished, I was disappointed, but Mom tapped me and she said, look at the exit. So I looked over there and I saw the middle one, Taylor. He was waving I love you, the sign I love you hand. I was so surprised that he knew that sign. Many girls rushed to the fence, the boundary, and were waving.
What did your mom think of the experience?
When I got home, my mom admitted to me that in the past, when she was 11, the same age as I am now, she liked a group called the Beatles. And she has a lot of pictures of them, just like me. I'll keep my pictures for later, for the future.
Wow, you and your mom found out you have something in common.
I like Hanson, just like my mom loves the Beatles when she was young. She would see him on TV and kiss the screen, and she'd cry, and she said it's okay for me to do the same.
Are you still their biggest fan?
Since July, I've hoped to see him again, but I'm not really noticing them, studying, learning about them as much. My life has changed. I'm going to a deaf school now, a school for the deaf.
Do you think you would go to another one of their concerts?
I think if Zach came back to my hometown, I'd drop everything and go so I can see him again like before. I want to be close to him again.
That was really interesting. Thanks for sharing your experience with me today.